I got something to tell you. You're going to ready to flip when you see this. Okay? I have said this over and over for the last couple times in my videos that I posted on YouTube. Now, the funny, weirdest thing about it, that no one doesn't understand what I'm saying. But the weirdest thing about it, and the funny, weird thing about it, that people don't see about this, is that everything happens for a reason. And I'll tell you a trick. It has something to do with a dollar bill. Has something to do with this man right here. And it has something to do with this thing right here, which we call the Bible. See it? And the Bible tells the truth. And the King James Version, I will show you 3 verses in the Bible that talks about it. Okay? First, let's start like this. There were 2 men back in 1968. There were Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy, or Robert Kennedy, you will say, that predicted for a black president to come. Okay? They both were predicting it, but only one got it, and that was Robert Kennedy. Now, I'll show you why in a minute. Okay? The weirdest and fun thing that people don't see this. And it's so funny. But, you know, it's like, yeah, whatever. You know, you're just telling me. Just, and no, it ain't going to happen. Well, the funny thing is, someone showed me a dollar bill one day. And I about flipped when I saw this. You got a goosebump on your back yet? Watch this. You ready? This will blow your mind to smithereens. You do got a goosebump on your back, don't you? You will when I get done with you. Okay. There are 4 left. See them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? They all add up to 44. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I'll show you 44 in just a minute, okay? All right. Keep an eye on 44 and watch where it's going to go. Okay. So, we had a president back in 1963. His name was John F. Kennedy. He was assassinated. But the numbers he held was his first name was John, and the F, and Kennedy gives him the 11. See it? 2 11s here. John F. Kennedy gives him the 11th. The weirdest thing about it, the bottom letters are the number that you times by 1. 11 times 1 is 22. That's the day, November, that he was killed. On November 22nd, he was killed on the 22nd. November 22nd. The weirdest thing about it, watch this. The 11th letter in the alphabet is the K. See it? And if you look under the K, very close, I'm zooming in, it says Dallas, Texas. You see it? Let me get closer to it. Now you see it? Ain't that weird? And it's got 11 letters in it. Dallas Texas. It's the 11th letter in the alphabet. So what did I have showed you? I have showed you the 11 at the top is his name. The 11 at the bottom, the date he was killed. And K as the third name of his name, which is Kennedy, his last name. And under the K is Dallas, Texas. Now, the weird thing about it, we take the 11 again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 11 times 4, 11 plus 4 is 44. Obama's our 44th president. On November 5th, 4th, you got all 4 11s. See the 4 and the 11s. There's the 4s, all 4 11s. And on November 4th, he becomes our president. You remember Bobby Kennedy predicted in 1968 that there would be a man running and he would win by enormous numbers. And he did. That becomes the 4 11s. So that's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So the 11 is 1. Now here's the second thing. Barack Obama's first name is Barack. B-R-A-R-A-C-K. The weirdest thing about it, his last name begins with the K. Barack. And it goes under Kennedy. Isn't that weird? And the weirdest thing, it matches all 4 of the 11s. 44. Barack Obama's our 44th president. Now, here's the weird thing about it. On November 4th, he becomes our president. On November 5th, he's hit with 3 6s. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8. Okay? The weirdest thing about it, the crazy thing about it, is you got his letters first as 44, the K as the third one, and Barack Hussein Obama. His first name is Barack. His last name is Obama, 5. So the funny weirdest thing about it, that gives you your second president. Now who's your third one? The third one goes into Donald Trump. How would it be our future president? Let me show you. All right. Again, you got 4 11s. 1, 2, right there. Then you got 3, and you got 4. Donald Trump's first name is Donald, like Ronald. Okay? So here's a fun thing. On November 5th, when he was reelected into office, on November 5th, the next day, on 6/5, Obama gets his third 6s. How does he get it? You know what's so weird about it? In the Illinois, the home where he lives at, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, a pick 3 is 666. You don't believe me? Go look at it yourself. The weirdest thing about it, the only other president that gets the 6s in his name is Ronald Reagan. Ronald Wilson Reagan. That's crazy, isn't it? That is really weird. Now, here's a funny thing. The weirdest thing, Trump has 6 in his first name and 5 in his last name that gives him 11. Now, 11 plus his 2 on the end, senior and junior, gives you the 13. Where does the 13 show on a dollar bill? Well, let me show you. Ta-da! Back here. It is in the pyramid, 13. The Star of David, 13. In E Plumas Umen, 13. The Eagles, 13. See it? The Eagles, yeah, let me roll it over and you see it back. The Eagles got 13 in it. The Feathers has got 13. The Berries has got 13. See the berries right there? They all add up to 13. There are 6 13 on the front, and the last 13 is right where the shield is, right there. 13, and it's got 13 stars in it. It's the shield, see it? The weirdest thing about it, that's kind of funny, but if you add all these numbers up right here, on the back of the dollar bill, above the eyes, these little things here, they're called Congress, what we call them. They all add up to 54. Now that's weird, isn't it? So here's the funny thing about it. Donald Trump could become our president. He already clinched the nominee today with 1,238 votes. But he only needed 1,270. And when Romney ran with Obama, so did Trump. He ran in 2011 with Romney. So Romney and Trump is who it came down to be. Now here's the weird thing about it. What is Donald Trump's last name or middle name? Well, you ready for this? Ta-da! Trump. John is Donald Trump's middle name. The weirdest thing about it, it shows you what I showed you on the dollar bill. November 22nd, 1963. Weirdest thing about it, I want you to look at this dollar bill and look at it very close. On the date, below the dollar bill, 1963. Is that weird? 1963. The year that John F. Kennedy was killed. Oh my God. So Donald Trump's middle name is John. That's weird, isn't it? So anyway, you know, Noah's Ark was told to build an ark called Noah's Ark. Noah was told to build a boat called Noah's Ark. Over in Louisville, Kentucky, they're building a boat called Noah's Ark. Amusement, or like a park, fair park or something called Noah's Ark. The weirdest thing about it is Donald Trump's birthday is 6/14. And in Genesis, Noah was told to build an ark. In Genesis, see? Ain't that weird? So it would be 614. And it tells them right there to build an ark. The funny thing about it, Donald Trump was also, just like Noah was told, to do this. And the funny thing is, and it says in Thessalonians, which is so funny and weird, it tells you right here, chapter 1, and it says, chapter 14 and 15, and it says right here, Thessalonians chapter 16, and it said, and thou art an angel that God has called. See it? And it says right there, so chapter 16 right there, and it says, and he is an archangel. See it? And his name shall be Trump. Trump. That's weird, isn't it? And what's so funny about it, his name shall be Trump. And the crazy thing about it is that it talks about what he talks about what's going to happen as being Trump. And the weird thing about it, he shows you what he's talking about. So at chapter 4, verses 16, 16 and 17, right there. And it says, see what it says right here? And it says, thou art the archangel. Right there, see it? And the weird thing about it, it says right there, and the archangel is called as Trump, Trump. The weirdest thing about it is that Donald Trump is 69 years old. Okay? Reagan, when he ran for office, he was 69 years old. But the weirdest thing about this, if Donald Trump gets in office, he will be the second president that will be 70 years old. The weirdest thing about it, Donald Trump had, sons and a daughter and a wife, just like Noah did. So is all this thing meant to be? All I can tell you is you make the decision, and you all have a very nice day. And again, God bless you. Go Trump. Beat Hillary and throw away the woman's card.